Greetings, Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. This is Tyra Omilade, your goddess guru and your sister friend. And you know I love helping women align with their life purpose using the power of ancient wisdom and the goddess-centered lifestyle. In this video, I want to talk to you about the the monthly astrology for April 2024. Hello, everyone. I hope that you are well. Welcome to this beautiful month. It's an exciting month. It's a very busy month, even though there's not a lot of astrological transits in terms of quantity, but we certainly have quite a bit going on in terms of quality. So yeah, I will talk about the astrology. I'll do an oracle reading, and yeah, just hoping that this you are able to use this wisdom to maximize April. Please take advantage of this month because we have a lot of opportunity, even though I do see this as, to a certain degree, a little bit of a challenging month. Um, I do still, if you're watching this April 3rd or April 4th, 2024, I still have a few spots available in my new moon retreat. It's for the Aries new moon solar eclipse. So, yeah, join me. I would love to have you. We're going to be shoring up ourselves for more pleasure, and we're going to be shoring up ourselves in terms of our wild woman and our courage. This is a year where having courage going into the rest of the year is very important. So join me. I would love to have you. You can just look in the description box. There is a link for you to get more information or to register. So, and it says, hold on. I don't know why I have that. It's not the 7th. It is the 4th. So let me go on ahead and pull up the astrology, my astrology calendar. And yes, it's April the 3rd at the recording of this video, but Mercury retrograde is full on active at this point. And so we're still in what we call the period of the Mercury retrograde, um, where it's the storm period where things could be the most awry with Mercury retrograde, delays, I don't like to really speak this, but sometimes it could be accidents and even things like accidentally hurting yourself because it's Mercury retrograde in Aries. So, Mercury retrograde really and truly is a time to slow down. So, that is really the best protocol I can give you. Just slow down, be more mindful, take your time, and you'll feel like you want to rush because it's Aries. But it's just really important to just tell yourself, for the next 3 weeks, I am just taking it easy. I'm going to slow down and be intentional. So, yeah, we're full on in Mercury retrograde. And so this first week, we also have Venus moving into Aries. And so, yeah, if you have Venus in Aries, then that means that you're having a Venus return. And at some point while Venus is in Aries, she'll be there until the 29th of April. And so when you have a Venus return, it's like having a birthday. So those who have Venus in Aries, it's time for you to begin um, thinking about and owning what you want to call into you, because Venus is all about manifesting. And it sets the tone for what you will manifest over the next, say, 15 months or so. So I just encourage all the people with Venus in Aries to, yeah, take advantage of this time. It's another energy that is about manifesting. Now, with Venus in Aries, Venus is actually not comfortable in Aries because Aries is the opposite of what Venus signifies. Because Venus is Libra, Aries and Libra are opposite of one another, which means it's like opposites can attract. They are totally different in some regards, in most regards, I'll say it that way. And so Venus in Aries, Aries is like number one, and I want to fight. And Venus is, hey, let me find a buddy, and Let's bring in peace and harmony. So, because it's like she's putting on the clothes of Aries. This is a feisty Venus. This is the Venus who is ready to perhaps just say, "You know what? It's all about me. I'm number 1. I'm taking care of myself. I'm gonna fight for myself." We may hear more talk about women fighting for their rights with Venus being in Aries. And, another thing is Venus does have a lot to do with appearance. She can be also associated with self-care, and Aries is exercise. So Venus in Aries is a good time for you to perhaps focus on some aspect of your health and wellness, your fitness, and yeah, that would be something that is a good indication for Venus in Aries. And it could be too with Venus being in Aries, it could tone down some of this energy. And I know some of it might be what I'm tuned into. Just seems like a lot is going on in the world that feels very Aries like. We got a lot going on in Aries right now. Like Aries is a sign to watch. If you think about it, in Aries, we have, first of all, Mercury is retrograding. We have the North Node there. We have Chiron there. And, we're in this Aries season. So the sun is there. So, oh my gosh, we have a lot going on in Aries that is not short term. And it's really asking us to, I think, dig deep into our bodies and heal the body, focus on the body, also, move the body, get us up and moving. But also, there's some new beginning that we're headed in. I personally don't like to think that there will be more war or that there'll just continue to be so much divisiveness and division. And it might just be because I'm in the United States that I feel there's so much divisiveness. But Venus coming into Aries could help to kind of quell some of that. She could help to soften it up a little bit. So we'll have to see. Hopefully, that's something that we will find will happen, that Venus can kind of slow things down, bring some harmony, some goodwill, that kind of thing happening. She is also about relationships. So, Venus and Aries, one or two things. This thing can go one of two ways. All right. Lots of fights in the relationship or lots of sex. You let me know how this works out for you. Okay. But remember, it's Venus. So if you find that you're arguing more, is it something that maybe y'all haven't had a discussion about and you need to talk about it to bring, more harmony, more agreement into the relationship? Venus, I mean, Aries is a really fun sign. So, some of you may be out there dating and it just really having a good time. So, Venus can be fun. Venus in Aries can be a lot of fun. They're both very creative energy. So I perceive right now as a highly creative time because there is so much energy in Aries. So, for people who are highly creative, this will be a good time for you. And yeah, Venus in Aries. I like talking about, I'm not fashionable in the least bit, but I do like fashion. I do like watching people who are fashionable. And so with Venus and Aries, it can make us have a more of an Aries flair to the season. For instance, we may see black and red because that's Aries colors, more athletic masculine looks, even if it's women, wearing the clothes, more athletic and masculine looks. And it could be, I don't know people who dress like this, but this is definitely something where you see leather and spikes and different things like that, because Aries is swords and weapons and things like that. So it could bring that out into our fashion. And we may see women deciding they want to shave a part of their hair. So that kind of thing, or just shave their whole head. I have Venus in Aries, and I've always loved having my hair short. I just feel like I look better that way, and yeah, I'm a short-haired kinda gal. I'm also very much into athletic wear. I just love it, and so it's that kind of look for Venus and Aries. So, yeah, let's have a little fun, and maybe there will be some new relationships because this is, Aries is the first sign of the astrological chart. So, yeah, maybe some of us will start a new relationship of some sort and be innovative. It's a great time to be innovative. So that's the first week. And also, something else to think about is the eclipse is coming to on the 8th. We're going to have the eclipse in Aries. It is going to be an eclipse over the United States. I probably need to look at it a little bit more. My nerves, I'm just being 100. I'm human. My nerves get shot sometimes with everything that's happening in the United States. I can't just tune it out, although I have been decreasing what I'm looking at, but it does make me a little bit nervous. Last time we had that eclipse over the United States, like it's gonna be with this one, um, it was in Leo, and after that eclipse, we got the worst president in the whole United States elected, and he's a Leo. He has other stuff in his chart. It's a star. I think it's close to his ascendant. It's called Regulus. That Regulus man is like Energizer Bunny for that person. But anywho, when I think about Aries going over the solar eclipse in Aries going over the United States, and I think about, well, this is something that just hit my mind. Aries is new beginnings. The United States, we still in the midst of our Pluto return. It is still in effect. Even if people aren't talking about it, it's still in effect. It's gonna stay in effect until Pluto is never going back into Capricorn. Pluto is going back into Capricorn one more time in September and will be there until December. And then that is when I will accept our Pluto return is over. The Pluto return is the birth of a nation. And so we're still in the process of birthing ourselves. So to have a total new moon eclipse in Aries over the United States, one of the things it can indicate is we're headed in a new direction. We are headed in a new direction. And so that makes me happy because we're not going back. We have to continue to birth this nation anew and have a whole new way of operating where this country is working for everybody. Whew, but Aries is a sign that has to do with war. So I will say the thing that I heard the most when we had that solar eclipse in Leo over the United States was people who didn't live here. Well, actually, I did hear one astrologer who lived here who thought the United States was going to break up. It was going to be a nation that was divided and break off into two new nations. And honestly, it did not. I was like, that's not going to happen. I just knew that was not. This country loves to assume land and steal it. There's no way this country is going to break into two different countries, but it is a nation. I put this in quotes, divided along, definitely political lines, but other lines too. But you can see it; it's here, right? And so I just think that it's going to really create something amazing. I'm going to own it's going to be something amazing, and but it is going to be significant for us. And so, if when we think about war, I feel like we're reliving both the um, the American Revolution time and the Civil War. It feels like it's all wrapped up into one at this time. And so that's part of what we're going to experience as a result of this. So for everyone, personally, this eclipse is an important time. It's very, very important to set some new moon intentions. And these will take it be in effect. You'll be able to manifest this over 18 years. So you want to really be thinking out. I do think it's important for you to think about what do you want in a month, and for sure, what do you want in 6 months to a year? For sure. But also, it's an eclipse, and the cycle of an eclipse is 18 years. So you wanna think out 18 years, where do you want to be? It has that kind of energy, especially for those of us here in the United States. We really are going to be impacted by this particular eclipse. So I wish y'all a happy new moon. I wish you a happy new moon. It's on the 8th of, hold on 1 second. Oh, yes, okay. I wanna just say, just wanna take a moment to just say my heart is going out to those in Taiwan that were affected by the earthquake and the tsunami. We're still reeling from the bridge that was collapsed when the boat hit it in, last week, and that was when I was like, "Why is Mars acting up like this?" I'm like, "Mars and Mercury retrograde. Mars and, Pisces and Mercury retrograde. Imma need for them to behave." They not behaving, y'all, they not behaving. But let's see what time this eclipse is. I don't remember the time. So it's at 19 degrees of Aries. That's gonna be for people who are probably in the last, about the last 10 days. Well, maybe not the last 10 days. Yeah, maybe the last 11, 12 days of, Aries season. Get ready. If you have a birthday around, let's see here, the 7th, 8th, or 9th of, April, your life is finna change, baby. Your life is about to change. So yeah, at 2:20 PM. So, yeah, happy new moon in Aries. So, let's see here. Next big thing we have is the sun moves into Taurus. Woohoo! On the 19th of April, April 19th. So, happy birthday to all the Tauruses. Happy New Year to the sun, moon, and ascendants in Taurus. And so, I think this is pretty significant with the sun moving in Taurus because we're having a major event happen the very next day. Essentially, it's already in effect. It's just exact on the 20th, and that's Jupiter conjunct Uranus. I've been mentioning this to everyone because the way I see that is it's an opportunity for us to up level ourselves financially. So I just want you to be thinking about that. Maybe even at that new moon, set those intentions because we have to remember anytime there is a conjunction, it is an opportunity for a new beginning. So I just think it's going to be a new beginning in terms of could be money and banking, those kinds of things, personal finance. It's an opportunity for us. I kind of see it as there's moments that happen in history where people recognize an opportunity and the window for this opportunity was not open for long, but they took advantage of it, even though it seemed risky, even though it seemed, it was sort of like going into the area of the unknown. So this is one of those times where you can be one of those people who jumps on in the beginning of whatever it is. I don't know what it is. You've got to, check in with your soul, your spirit, your financial advisors. I am just giving y'all the astrology and y'all can see what it looks like for you. But there are some people who took advantage of an opportunity when it was early, it took a while to see how it was going to be profitable, but in the end, they were looked at as the early adopters and, their finances or financial legacy and all of it changed forever because now they're wealthy. Jupiter conjunct Uranus has that potential because Jupiter is a planet of abundance and it's in the sign of Taurus. So many people were predicting financial disarray for the United States for so long. And it's like the United States is stronger than ever. And I know I'm talking about the United States. I don't know about the rest of the world, but it's just an example of, in my mind, the reason the United States didn't see that. And of course, we know, let me just put a pause on it. A lot of countries want the United States to stay strong because our markets are so connected. Our economies are so connected, and so many economies are dependent on the United States economy being strong that if this economy collapses, all the economies, or not all, but a lot of economies will collapse. And so essentially, the United States having a strong economy is helping a lot of countries. And so anyone who knows more about these kinds of things, please know that I know that there's probably other things that I'm not considering. I'm just trying to explain a little bit of how Jupiter in Taurus is looking. It truly is making this country stronger in terms of its economy. And I believe that's why we have seen things just kind of boom here. And so we already have that proof of it. So when Jupiter, which is this big planet, and it's all about abundance and it just increases everything, connects with Uranus, Uranus makes things up level. It's like there's a breakthrough. And so, and Uranus has been here since I think 2018, something like that. And so it's been, I think, helping turn the way banking looks around. Think about things like Venmo and Cash App and who knows whatever else. If you have an online business, there are so many different ways to take payments that didn't used to be around. And, there's just so many things that have transformed with money and currency. Cryptocurrency, even though I know nothing really too much about it, cryptocurrency really took off with Uranus being in Taurus. So Uranus has already been there creating all kinds of, breakthroughs. It's truly changed the way people make money. It helps all of us. See, Uranus is like society and it wants to help everybody be able to, it's almost like it wants to create a level playing field, right? It's the internet. That's one of the things I love about the internet. The internet has allowed anyone, if you can figure out how to make money online, anyone can do it. And that's what we've been needing. We've needed the money to come out of the hands of the few, which, we're getting more and more millionaires and billionaires, but they're still top 1, 2% of all the world. It's just concentrated with a few people. But there's so many more. I looked at Forbes list. I was like, how many billionaires in the world? I had to give up. I was scrolling through. Once I got to 200, I was like, I'm done. I didn't know it was this many billionaires, right? So it's just Uranus is just like making it possible for people to be wealthy. So the two of them coming together is truly an opportunity of a lifetime. Now, the two of them coming together in Taurus is an opportunity of a lifetime. And so I think it's important. And then, they're connecting right after the sun comes into Taurus. So we even have this ingenious energy there in Taurus, because the sun is ingenious and it's just these divine downloads that we can get. It's also extra energy because all of these planets have a lot of energy. The sun and Jupiter are fiery, and Uranus is electricity. And I do think that more of us can make money online. Um, I think that more of us can make money. Ooh, let's see here. Something with health and healing. I think those can become big boons also. The one caveat I do have is I do think that Jupiter and Uranus getting closer together is creating more and more instability. Maybe the word isn't instability, volatility is probably the better word for the earth, because Taurus is the earth. And so, every transit is going to have, especially a conjunction, because in conjunction brings intensity. And it's like think about the Big Bang. It's like a big bang. Something gets started, some new energy gets launched, and it just takes off, right? Doesn't matter what the planets are, that's a conjunction. And it's even more so with these two. So I do believe it can create some instability when it comes to, natural, events happening. The other thing I say, I need to come back to the money, is Uranus is the stock market. It's related to the stock market. So it could be, well, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the stock market. I'm not into the stock market, but I mean, I have some IRAs. Let me just have full disclosure, but I don't really know much about that. I just have an uncle that told me to invest in IRAs. So I was like, okay, I have an IRA. So I know that is something to do with it. But I just really am curious, is the stock market going to have an even deeper hold? I don't even know why. I've heard it's just a made up thing. I don't know why the stock market has so much power, but I wonder, is it gonna get even more power, or is it gonna be investing in things that have to do with the earth, which I would love, even though I don't want it to be things that hurt the earth, but more of a natural, so things like, electric cars and, anything that helps us to be more respectful of the earth and stop just, abusing the earth, that kind of thing. Solar panels. I wonder if that is gonna become something that the stock market really gets into, or it just takes off in the economy. All kinds of natural type of things. It could even be eco traveling, all kinds. Jupiter does have to do with, foreign travel. So, yeah, if you feel like I've talked about this a long time, it's because it is very, very important. So, yes. So, you can see between, okay, so we have this first week, wasn't a lot going on. I will say the second week is it's a little extra going on. We got quite a bit going on, but it's in quality, not in quantity, right? And I always say whenever we have an eclipse month, we just don't need a whole lot going on. Then we get to this week, this is a lot going on, but it's in quality, not quantity. And then we come down here to this week, same thing. We have the full moon, and then we have Mercury going direct. It's no planetary interactions that week. That's fascinating to me. But we need a break. We need a break. The stars. So we're gonna have that full moon in Scorpio. Y'all ready to see me get shocked? Sometimes I don't really know the astrology until I share it with you all. And yes, I'm shocked. That full moon is gonna be on one of my planets, but it's not about me. Let me tell you about you, or what this could mean for you. So I am gonna do a full video. Typically I do a full video. So but I'll just touch on it. So a full moon in Scorpio, I'm just gonna be 100 with you all. Scorpio is a hardcore sign. It is a hardcore sign. Let me just check something. Okay. All right, here we go. So I wanted to pull up that chart. So we had the full moon in Scorpio. One thing I will say I like about this moon is Mars is in Pisces. So it's in a water sign just like the moon is. So it could be extremely emotional sign. And the reason I'm focused on Mars is because Mars rules Scorpio. And so I do feel like it'll bring a certain that Mars is not conflicting with the moon at that time. That's what I'm trying to say. But Mars is very, very close to, Neptune at that time, so, um, yeah, that is I don't know, I'm already kinda like, I don't know if I'm feeling this, I don't know. But yeah, the full moon in Scorpio is one that I can say I wanna just go in the healing energy first. It could be extremely healing, and it could be you're getting healed up, maybe in your body, or you're getting healed up from a wound of some sort. It can be exceedingly healing. If you do research, it could be a time where you're just like on fire when it comes to research. I will say it does have to do with because Scorpio is what's in the dark. It's almost like, well, it's not almost like it's when we're going into the pipes of the house. And so imagine illuminating what's in the pipes, that are in our house or wherever we work. Oh my gosh, it's like secrets revealed, crap being revealed, right? But sometimes we have to do that to unclog the drains. I mean, it's some gross stuff down there in those pipes. So it could be something like a secret revealed, but it's going to be helpful, or it might help you to heal. It could really illuminate maybe people who are doing research because Scorpio is the kind of energy that makes you very hyper focused. You're obsessed. And that's why it's so good at research because when you're researching something, you can't be, the opposite planet or not the opposite planet, but the planet that the sign that Mars rules, Aries, is going to go in and start doing research. And it's like, oh, forget it. It's taking too long, right? Not Scorpio, which is also ruled by Mars. Scorpio is like, we will research until we find it. I'm a Scorpio rising, and my husband is a Scorpio sun sign. And I already know if we are like, I'm certain about finding this thing, and then we can't find it, we'll have to like tell ourselves, don't run late. Go on ahead and just get in the car. We'll just get so obsessed. I will find it. I will dig and dig and dig until I find it. So that's how it is with research. That's why Scorpio is such a good sign for research. So yeah, maybe some people will be doing some research and just this moon is going to help you with that. It is also about money. And so it could be illuminating topics around shared resources. Maybe your partner, you and your business partner, people that you live with, you and a co-parent. So it could have something to do with that kind of money. It could have to do with getting some type of financial backing, like a fellowship, a scholarship, a grant. So I love that about Scorpio. It can help us get money, but it's not earned income. It's money that can come in and support us in some kind of way or shared resources. And also, it is the money, it's taxes. So it could be illuminating energy around taxes, which, in the United States, tax season it should be over by the time we have this moon on the 23rd, is it? Yeah. But something around taxes, inheritance, and also debt. So this could be bringing up it could be illuminating for you around debt in some kind of way. The full moon is always like a celebration, so it could be celebrations around these topics or it could be something gets illuminated and helps you to better see what's going on so you know what action to take. But Scorpio is this sign that has to do with wounding. So, with it being such an emotional time, it could definitely be, you know, painful. It can feel very painful. So, if that's how it feels, I think make sure we all check on our loved ones, especially the ones that if they tell us they're struggling or Um, they've already indicated they're having some struggles. This would be a really, really good moon to check on them because that Pisces and that Scorpio at the same time is like we need to be checking on our loved ones, okay? Um, and for you, for all of us, it could just feel so painful, but it's gonna pass. Okay. So it's like really take care of yourself at this full moon. Um, I do think that it could be highly intuitive. So Pisces, which is where Mars is, Pisces is it could just sense and feel everything. It's like everything everywhere all at once. Is that the name of the movie? That is Pisces. So we already have this intuitive energy of Pisces. I think we could be connecting with the ancestors, our guides, the angels. You just feel like we're just all so connected to the divine intelligence of the universe. And Scorpio is X-ray vision. So a lot of people with scorpionic energy or eighth house energy are able to see things that other people can't see. Like we see things before other people see them. And folks will be like, "How did you know that?" It's something I can't explain. I just know. Pisces can make you blind. I am a Pisces. Pisces can not see, right? But Scorpio, when my Scorpio is on point and I'm good, it's like as soon as the person walks in the room, it could be the way they held their mouth when they said something, and I'll be like, "They lying," Or one time I remember someone coming in to, this place where I used to teach, and it was just a really kind of bizarre entry that this person had, and everybody was loving this person. And I was like, "How is it this person has just walked in this room and taken full control of the whole room. Everyone the person was just singing and playing the piano, and I'm like, "What's going on with this person?" Immediately, I was like, "Something's not right." Well, I ended up being good with the person, but someone else who knew this person was like, they had a problem. They had a real big problem. So, Scorpio is X-ray vision. So, this I think will be heightened during this full moon. So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if it feels extra etheric and spiritual, but it can be exceedingly healing. And it's interesting because during this full moon, there's still Uranus and Jupiter. They're right there together. So this is a full moon that some people some cha-ching may come through. I'm hoping some of y'all will get some student loan debt forgiveness. Really do believe that when we had the eclipses in Scorpio, that's part of how my debt got relieved. And I've heard of other rounds of it. So I hope that it just hooks some of y'all up financially. But yeah, I think it could be very lucrative and profitable. It could be a moon where it's like, wow, we had a lot going on. Okay, so I'm going way into this moon. I thought I was gonna do I'll finish this up. And then I will go through the signs. I'll do a through the signs video for you all later in this month. Okay, so then we're gonna have Pluto squaring this moon. Shoot, this moon is gonna be highly transformative, baby. We all getting ready to realize things gon' change. I do like this. I think that it can really we have to remember Pluto is a societal planet. So yeah, it's gonna create change for individuals, but I really do think some big change is happening on the global level. Change and transformation where it's working for the people. I think this full moon is going to show even more. Um, yeah, I think it's going to show even more. How am I trying to say this? We'll see more people out in the streets, the activists. It's just going to be a time. It could be a lot of social unrest is highlighted during this time, and it's like radical change and transformation. Also, like all these people, I've been meaning to make a video talking about how it's not even just P. Diddy. I know people are talking about him, but it's a lot coming out about people who have been hurting other people. A lot of times we abbreviate it SA on YouTube, and, I think that this full moon is gonna bring something up around that. I know that recently I didn't really look at it. Sometimes it's hard for me to look at things about children who have been abused horribly, but I know there were 2 women who recently, I think mom influencers or something like that. All of this is Mars when it met the sun in, Scorpio. Let me see what degree that. So it was the 24th degree of Scorpio that they met Mars and the Sun. They meet every 2 years in one sign, and it just goes around and around and around. So, um, in 2023, they met in Scorpio. In 2025, it's gonna be Sagittarius. And so we'll start seeing things happen when it comes to Sagittarius topics. But Scorpio, every time Scorpio gets highlighted in some kind of way, something is coming out around people who are, you know, involved in SAing other people. But I will say that Jupiter and Uranus are gonna be just moving together, and so they're gonna be opposite that 24-degree point. Let me just see something real quick. Let's just make a quick prediction. I hope that y'all enjoying what I'm sharing. Yeah, because I like doing this. So Jupiter, Uranus. I remember seeing that they got to okay. So the 23rd, I want to say, let's see what happens around May, sometime around the top of May. We'll say May 1st is about the 7th or 8th. Let's just see what happens in terms of the news cycle when it comes to all of these stories that we're hearing in that. So yeah, wow, major full moon in Scorpio. Also, some of us can see things manifest that we've been working on over the last. I could think it's a healing, a reset that we've been working on over the last year and a half, is what I'll say. Mercury goes direct on the 25th. So, yeah, around that time, just begin to notice it's very important to slow down even more when that Mercury is going direct. So, or starting around the 22nd, I'll say even through the 28th, slow it down. Slow it down because Mercury will be very, very slow. And so, yeah, that's a time for us to just be mindful. Then we're going to have Venus move into Taurus. So she'll be at home. Woohoo! Venus in Taurus. Wow. I'll say this really quickly. She's going to be in Taurus on the 29th of April. And yeah, Jupiter will still be in Taurus. Wow, wow, wow. That's so exciting. So we're going to have both benefic planets in Taurus. Girl, girl. Wow. I'm so excited. So yeah, that's a abundance and pleasure and self-care, self-worth, self-value. And it's just a lush time. When Venus goes into our sign, it feels so, so good. So enjoy. And then we're going to have Mars in Aries. And so with Mars being in Aries, it's in its home sign. So that's nice. And but Mars is a what we call a malefic planet. I love Mars. I love Mars. Mars has its place. But it can bring about violence. It can bring about things that are, that hurt. It really can. And we've had so much going on in Aries. Mars, once it comes into Aries, it can really begin to trigger some things. It's like once it goes across a certain degree, let's say the degree of the eclipse is the 19th degree. So let's see when Mars is going to be at the 19th degree. Mars will be at the 19th degree. Let me just make sure I'm on the right one. On May 26th. So it could be, May 23rd or through May 29th. That could be a really volatile time. That's the thing about Mars when I'm like, I like it being in Aries, but we've had a lot going on in Aries. So, yeah, even around this I wanna even say it could be, from the 18th up until, the 29th. It could be a really challenging time, but I always say astrology works for us, it doesn't happen to us, and so whatever is coming up, it's happening in our favor. Mars is just doing its job, you know? And I see it as a breakthrough type of energy. Although it may not all the time feel comfortable, it definitely is breakthrough type energy. And it'll bring a lot of energy. It's been 2 years since Mars was in Aries. And so it's like for real bringing in new beginnings energy again. And we just have been coming out of that Mercury retrograde, and so it will bring about um this energy where we feel like we're moving forward. Even though I know we're getting ready to start going in a retrograde season. Pluto will be going, yeah, you can see Pluto go retrograde on the 2nd of May. Woo, 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 woo. Pluto always goes retrograde in the spring, early spring. So yeah, I think that's all that I have. So I'm gonna start off with um my Goddess Tarot deck, and then I'll let you go. Okay, let me see if I have. Okay, let me. Part of my ritual or part of what I do when I do readings is I have to take a sip of water. Okay. Let's get some energy for a reading. I'm going to pull 3 cards. I'm just going to use one deck today. I'm going to pull, wow, that's an interesting card. Um, Boom. Ooh, okay. Okay, Oracle. What else do we have? Boom. Okay. So I'm using my Mythical Goddess Tarot deck. And the first card I pulled for us for the month of April, she's called the Wind Maiden. And look at how Aries like she looks. She's actually Libra, but she looks very Aries like. But Venus is in Aries. So what she says is she exemplifies clarity of mind, laser precision focus, and she's focused on her goals and intent of hitting the mark, which is definitely Aries like. And she's on the golden eagle's wings, unbound by earthly perspective, flying free. She has crystal clarity. So, this is a month where we can get some crystal clarity. Or if you have crystal clarity, you know, that is something that you want to make sure you hold. If you don't have crystal clarity, then that's something that you want to gain this month. She's here to give you clarity of mind to see through illusion, to make the right decisions to achieve your objective. So let your mind be focused like an arrow that hits the mark of your intent. Move forward to your goals with the new vision and clarity the Maiden of Wind brings. And in the Ifa African tradition that I'm a part of out of Nigeria, I wrote down that she's the same as Ochozi. Ochozi is the tracker. And one thing I can tell you about having, um, owning your power around your life is when we're tracking, all you need to do is look at what you're doing every day and it's letting you know where you're headed. So I want you to think about that. Maybe this is the month, especially with Mercury retrograde, where you track what you're doing every day. Just pay attention to what you're doing. And it's going to let you know no matter what area of life you're in. And if you don't like the direction you're headed, then you get to change what your focus is. You get to change what you're doing and begin to track what you're doing to show that you're going in a new direction. So that's that one. And the next one that I pulled It's called Mother Mary, and she has to do with sacrifice. So she's called Queen of Heaven, Creator of Life, Mother of God, Savior of the world. And she embodies patience, knowing that everything will be resurrected in due time. She surrenders to the cycles of suspension and limbo, knowing that all is well regardless of appearance. And we could be in that. We really could. We could be in a cycle, even though the wind maiden is saying, hey, have clarity. Sometimes the clarity is I am just in a holding pattern and I'm trusting it. Okay. So that's beautiful. And it says she's here, she is there for you when you descend into the dark night of the soul. Now, this one could definitely be around that full moon in Scorpio. She is the internal compass that points your way. She teaches you to surrender to spirit during times of stasis, that your obstacles and karmic burdens can be met with patience and grace. Okay. So, having patience, but also it's just surrendering to the obstacles, to the times where it feels like things aren't working well. And yeah, it helps us to actually move through them, get the medicine. Maybe we just needed that moment of pause. I always kind of feel like a pause is to help me see something that I wouldn't see if I just keep moving forward. Mary brings ascension from the illusion of death and teaches that through sacrifice comes rebirth and ultimate achievement. So, my question for you is what do you need to sacrifice this month in order maybe to get that focus or to be focused on your goals? What do you need to sacrifice? What do you need to sacrifice that is no longer serving you? You could definitely release it. Maybe the Mercury retrograde is going to help you to get that clarity. It's like slow down so you can get the clarity. All right. Okay. The last one is the white buffalo calf woman, and she stands for sacred fire. She has to do with the energy of Leo. What was Mother Mary? I didn't see what she has to do with. Mary has to do, oh, she's a watery energy. Wow, we got a lot of water going on, especially with that full moon. Okay, so sacred fire. And of course, she has to do with the Native Americans. It says she brings the fire of spirit to you through her strength and courage. And you remember, I told you that's what we're focusing on in my new moon circle, showing you that through the control over your hidden demons and reverence for the divine, you honor and align with your essence and bring light to the darkness of the world. So it's definitely about looking at what's going on within. And, a lot of times we use the word shadow work. And the more we are able to face them, then we're able to bring our light to the world that feels at times dark. I typically subscribe to no matter how horrible things are or seem to be, it's a blessing to be in a body. And I will end with an affirmation for women from my affirmation for women deck. When I choose to be here now, to feel the air, feeling my lungs, the earth beneath my feet, the sun on my skin, I allow joy to wash over me. And we get all of that when we choose to be here right now. I must have understood I was headed in that direction with that. So thank you so much. I wish you a wonderful April. And yeah, I'll see you in my next live stream or video. Take care. Peace and love. Oh, one other thing. If you would please like the video. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel. It helps to bring health to my channel, which means that more and more people are getting to take advantage of all that I'm sharing. And I just would appreciate it so, so much. It lets me know, hey, girl, keep making these videos. All right, you take care. Peace and love.